So yeah, welcome to another reflection video. This time it's about entrepreneurship, and I've seen a lot of companies being formed, and I've helped a lot of people starting companies. I've started companies myself, and I've seen that there's kind of a certain type of ways to start a company, which I find is kind of interesting to reflect about. So the first one is obviously that you are an entrepreneur and you start your own company. That's of course something which happens fairly common. What also happens is that you are a person who has a lot of ideas or see business opportunities, and you would like others to do that, to live out those ideas and make those ideas realities. And here it becomes interesting, because here's a certain roads you can take and ways of doing it. The first one is of course that, okay, you have the idea and you become the entrepreneur, you do it, you own the idea and you carry it forward. The second approach is to get somebody else to do the idea. This is usually something you think is possible, but it's really hard, because the idea is in your head. To get somebody else excited about your idea is not the easiest thing. They are often excited about their own ideas. So this is a really hard thing to do, and nothing I would recommend. Then there's another way, and that's to become some kind of investor and to say, okay, I'm looking for people who have ideas like this. I'm willing to invest in them. And then you can either invest time or money. It's hard to do if you don't have time or money. So then that's not a good way of doing that. Another way is to start the idea yourself, and then once you've reached a certain point, to hire somebody to actually carry the idea forward. That's in retro perspective an approach I've used a lot. So a lot of the companies I've founded have founded in that way. I carry the idea in the beginning, and then when it came to a certain point, I hired people to carry the ideas forward. The problem with that idea, or with that approach, is that it's really hard to raise money. So if your idea builds on being global scalable, raising money is hard if you are a founder but not working with it, if you're not the entrepreneur. Like, raising a lot of money is only possible if you're the entrepreneur, I would say. Some exceptions: if you're really successful, like if your business idea really is off the charts successful, then you can always raise money. So that's exceptions, but usually it's really hard to raise money if you're not the entrepreneur yourself. And that gets back to you in certain ways. So you actually have multiple choices. You can either get the idea going, hire somebody, and then let them carry that idea forward, or you can get the idea, hire somebody, get them to carry the idea, but then step back in and become kind of a late stage entrepreneur in that sense. So that you become, as a founder, you become important again later, and then you can actually raise money again. So that's also something, a way to do it in that sense. All of these ways have complications. All of these ways are not easy. So there's no perfect way of doing it. But it's just an interesting way to see it, so that there are these different paths you can take if you want to take an idea to reality in one way or another. Thanks for listening.